Hello everyone and welcome to Theimpactplay. My name is Mohammed, otherwise known as It's Yagu, and I am your host and your producer on the ones and twos, and we are your one-stop shop for the newest discussions and reviews around gaming, tech, entertainment, sports, esports, and music. We're also keen on uplifting voices and even highlighting their stories. Your support keeps the lights burning and keeps the content coming. Learn more by joining us over on Discord, where you can get access to some exclusive content, including the ad-free version of the show, a whole lot of content before everyone else, and more. We are also epic partners with every purchase you make within the Epic Store, whether it be Rocket League, Fortnite, Fall Guys, and more. No matter where you play or how you play, even if it's a free-to-play title, when there's that credit code at Theimpactplay, you'll get a little bit of a kickback and a commission to help support us in a brand new way, and no extra cost to you. This episode of the Theimpactplay is also sponsored by Audible. However, me and the team will tell you about that later. This is the Theimpactplay's Reviewcast, episode 293, where we are reviewing episode 8 of The Last of Us. So stay tuned and enjoy! Introducing It's Team Impact, born in Atlanta and powered by the Theimpactplay. Learn more by going over to itsteamimpact.com. Once again, that URL is itsteamimpact.com. You can sign up for your free 30-day trial. It immediately gets access to 1 credit. If you have Amazon Prime, you get access to 2 credits. It's good for any premium title. Simply go to audibletrial.com/Theimpactplay. Once again, that link is audibletrial.com/Theimpactplay. Alrighty, folks, so it's time for our review for episode 8 of The Last of Us. So I guess let's get into this, folks. Please keep in mind that this will be a timed exclusivity for our supporters. If you guys are interested in becoming a supporter, be sure to join us over on Discord by clicking on the Discord link in the about pages of either on the podcast servers around the globe, and the show notes, on Twitch, on YouTube, or wherever you'll find us. But nonetheless, I guess let's get into this, folks. So, we are 1 episode away from the season finale. I know the season finale is out and what have you, but we have yet to watch it and yet to review it. So please keep that in mind. But nonetheless, on last episode where we saw pretty much Ellie caring for Joel as he was essentially bleeding out. And this time, it's a tale of survival, and a world where Ellie's on her own without Joel. So, pretty much, it's about strength, about endurance, about playing your cards right, and just acting in your own best interest. So we're not going to get into it in depth because, of course, we're going to keep this part as spoiler-free as possible. We'll get into the more spoilery detail on the second part of the show. But nonetheless, like I said, this show is getting really, really good. I can't wait to see what they do with the season finale. But otherwise, Ellie had the opportunity of leaving Joel, but she didn't. She chose to stay by him, take care of him, and try to help him recover as best as she can. And then we also see some new faces in this episode as well. Yes, so like I said, it was a nice change of scene where we saw, like I said, we saw Ellie taking care of herself, focusing on her own interests and just trying to survive, and at the same time taking care of Joel where he's unable to take care of himself. And she's everything that he taught her thus far, she's trying to make the best of it. But all in all, trying to think, what should we give it in a rating? We're gonna give it, like last week's show, a 4 out of a 5 on the Theimpactplay scale. And of course, on an IMDb scale, we're gonna double that up and give it an 8 out of a 10. So on our rating scale, we gave it a 4 out of a 5. Like, this show's doing phenomenally well. So I guess that's it for part 1, folks. If you guys don't want to stick around for part 2 for our more in-depth discussion with spoilers and what have you, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate every single one of you. Be sure to catch us when we do live, record the show live over at twitch.tv/Theimpactplay. We also upload a huge ton of content on our YouTube channel, so youtube.com/Theimpactplay. Give us a rating, give us a review. Help us reach even more listeners, even more viewers, and help us expand our community even more. Thank you guys so much. Have a great one, and until then, next time, for everyone else that's going to stick around for part 2. Alrighty, folks, it's time for your part 2 spoiler warning with spoilers discussion about episode 8. Yeah, episode 8 of The Last of Us. So, I guess let's get into this episode since we already discussed last episode earlier today. But nonetheless, like I said, we saw Ellie trying to survive on her own without Joel. But she did fairly well. We saw some new faces in the most notable is David, where he's essentially a priest, a leader of this small group of people, and just trying to survive. And we learn a dark secret out of him. That they were feeding human beings to their little group without them even knowing, quote unquote, trying to survive. But Ellie caught on to that. So what happened was, we'll get into the beginning, where we saw Ellie trying to help Joel recover, but of course his wound is getting more and more infected. But in the meantime, she stitched them up, and she went out to hunt for food. And then she ends up hunting down this deer, and then she tries to collect it, but then she finds two new faces as she's trying to, I guess, collect her bounty, in the form of David and James. So she gets a job on them, like and then David tries to open up his his little circle to her, to offer help and medicine, what have you. Like, we have food, and we take care of one another, and then medicine. So they gave her, what was it? Antibacterial, anti-infection. I forgot what penicillin. That was the name of it. It was penicillin, so I guess to help Joel. But David knew that, because this episode directly is connected to episode 6, where the reason why Joel was injured, because he was injured by one of their, I guess, remote, I guess, not searchers. What's that word called? It was pretty much those people were from this group. So pretty much they're all connected, and then David realized that, okay, that this guy killed up one of our members. That was a scout party. That was the word. But killed up one of our scout party members, whatever, scouts. And he connected the dots that Ellie was the one tagging along. In the meantime, Joel started slowly recovering, until they found her, and of course they want to enact revenge, because he killed one of their uh, groupies or what have you. So David wanted to, I guess he's more of a manipulative character. He'll try to connect with you and then he'll try to force you to act or react according to his whim. So, moving forward, it's nice that we see Ellie surviving on her own, like we saw in this episode, and also just surviving when she's faced with, or should I say, with an obstacle or a group of people. She has to try to act in her best interest to survive and stay alive, and that's exactly what she did here. She was locked up and she was able to escape by killing what's this guy's name? James. And on top of it, she was finally able to kill David as well. With a knife. Kept stabbing him and stabbing him and stabbing him. And then we all assumed that Joel will come to the rescue, but no, it was Ellie that came to her own rescue, which is a nice change in pace than what we normally see. But we see a more of a connection at the very end, which I'll explain to you. Of course, once she realized what she did, she barged out, blood all over her, shaking like crazy. And then that's when Joel finally was able to quote unquote rescue her, but and then comfort her mentally, not physically, mentally. And then she starts shaking, shivering, and going like this, like she's still stabbing, trying to protect herself, trying to survive. And then he says this, "I got you, baby girl." He hasn't said that in over 20 years since his actual daughter, since before she passed. And then the episode just ends. So it's a nice change of scenery. It's a nice change of not really the story, but pretty much it answers the question: what would Ellie? How would Ellie be able to survive on her own without Joel always protecting her or being there for her? What if the roles were reversed, and Ellie was the one that was taking care of Joel instead of the other way around, which is nice. It was very well done. I enjoyed it very thoroughly, and I guess we'll just see what they do with the season finale if they're able to do it this well. And then a fun fact, because what I like about what they're doing with The Last of Us at the end, towards like literally after the credits roll, it gives us of a more behind the scenes look into the making of that particular episode. And a fun fact was the rifle, it was an actual rifle, it wasn't a prop. It was the size and weight of an actual rifle, but of course minus the ammo, because gun safety and what have you. Of course, they did that phenomenally well. It was so heavy that she was unable to keep it on her shoulder because it's literally larger than her, and with all that weight, she was slouching, unable to talk. But it was after this, it was done very well. Like kudos to all the actors, everybody that put this show together, and this episode particularly. Otherwise, I give it a thumbs up. Like I said, we gave it what did we give it? A 4 out of 5 on the Theimpactplay scale. And of course, IMDb scale, we just doubled that up, so we gave it an 8. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. We do appreciate every single one of you. Be sure to check out the regular recording of the Theimpactplay, where we do record live over at twitch.tv/Theimpactplay. You can also catch it on youtube.com/Theimpactplay, as well as your favorite products platform, whether it be Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Music, and so much more. We are there. Learn more by going over to theimpactplay.com, or even you can join our Discord as well. It's in the about pages on YouTube, Twitch, and what have you. It's there. But nonetheless, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys do want to send us feedback to be played live or even read live on the show, you have a couple ways to do so. If you guys are listening on Spotify, there will be a question that will let us know that will ask you what are your thoughts. If you have any questions about this particular episode, you can give us your feedback that way. The other ways to do so is by sending an email to reademail@theimpactplay.com, via Discord, or even leaving a voice note over at ignorant.fm/Theimpactplay, where it'll be played live, where your feedback will either be played live or read live here on the show. Thank you guys so much. Have a great one. Have a great night, and we'll see you all on the finale. Have a good one, folks, and until next time.